I'm gonna be giving y'all some tips and tricks to help y'all progress in the Forge. And these are for both beginning and endgame players, so no matter where you are in the game, these can help you out. So first off, the pretty obvious one is over at spawn in the Forgotten Kingdom. You can actually just jump in this cannon right over here, and it will launch you up to the cave instead of having to climb all the way up. And another pretty known trick, which is mainly for endgame players, is if we go down here into the volcanic depths, and if we want to mine one of these volcanic rocks, what we can do is we can mine it down to about 1000 HP, and we can actually see what's inside the rock. So if we don't want what's inside the rock, we can actually just back up, and then it will respawn, and then we can remine the same rock, which this one I am actually gonna mine because I do want that ore right there, because that one itself is pretty rare. But anyway, these volcanic rocks don't spawn every time, so that's why we don't want to just destroy them. If you do want a bunch of money, you can destroy them, because if you're trying to get a bunch of money, then you probably don't care what you want. But this is primarily for if you're trying to get legendaries and mythicals. So we'll demonstrate it on this one right here. So first off, what we need to do is we need to start mining it down, and then once it gets around 2000 HP, it will start showing us what's in the rock. So we have obsidian, we have topaz, and we also have volcanic rock. So I don't really want any of those things. So what we can do is we can leave it like that, and then in a little bit from now, it will regenerate, and then we can mine it again, and it will have completely different ores. Because if we break it, some other rock will spawn. Like this rock right here could spawn right there, and it wouldn't be a volcanic rock. So by doing this, we can guarantee that we'll get another volcanic rock right here with completely different ores. And there we go, it actually just regenerated. So we can pull out our pickaxe again, and we can keep on mining. This is super good to do if you're doing it with at least 2 volcanic rocks. So we can mine down this one. If we get nothing good, we can hop over to the next one, mine that one down as well, and by the time we finish mining that one, this one will be regenerated. But once again, this is mainly just for endgame players who are trying to get mythicals and legendaries, and who don't really need a bunch of money. But if you do need a bunch of money, then I will recommend mining these. Anyway, the next trick that I have is for gathering money, because as you go on, things become more and more expensive, and selling ores isn't just doing it for you. So I have 2 ways to earn a bunch of money. The first one is to forge together all of your old ores, because if we head over to spawn, we can talk to this guy right here, and for an example, if we sell 24 sapphire, he would give us $810, but instead of selling it, we can actually just forge it together. And I recommend forging it into armor, because I believe armor overall just gives us more money. But anyway, after forging this together, we get $2.7 thousand. So instead of the $810 that we would have gotten from selling the ores to this guy, we were able to triple how much money we get just by forging them together. And now we can go over here, we can talk to him, and we can sell this for a lot more. But an even better money making method is by selling your essence. So essence are these things right here, which we can use for enhancing our weapons, but we can actually sell them as well, which they actually sell for more than you think. So we can talk to this guy right here, and for an example, let's just go ahead and select all of our superior and epic essence. And now if we try to sell these, he'll give us 19,000, which is pretty good. And also this essence right here didn't even take too long. Like all of this probably took me maybe 10 minutes max. So this 20,000 in 10 minutes. Selling essence isn't as good if you just kill regular skeletons like these. Well, what you want to do is once you have a decent weapon and decent armor, you want to jump down into the volcanic depths, and you want to kill all of these people. So all of these elite skeletons, like this guy right here, I can probably kill in just one swing, and then he'll have a chance to give us essence, which essence is actually pretty popular. Like there we go, we just got a bunch, and now we can go ahead and sell that for a bunch of money. And we can stand on here for like 20 minutes, kill all of these skeletons, and then in that 20 minutes we'll probably get around $40,000 to $50,000. And the better skeletons you kill, the better the essence. And then we can go back to this guy over here, and we can just sell them. Anyway, for my next tip is to just go into your inventory and check your achievements, because if you open up your achievements right here, this tracks your player stats, and it actually gives you a boost based on your stats. So over here, we can actually equip one of these boosts. So over here, we have attack speed boost, stamina boost, mind power, health, XP, move speed, boost, luck. So it's a bunch of things. So I recommend going over here and equipping at least one of them. If you want XP, then equip the XP boost. Or if you're just dying left and right, you can equip the health boost. But if you're mining, then I recommend equipping the luck boost. So you unlock a higher and higher boost based on your stats. So for an example, if we want an attack speed boost, we have to forge a bunch of weapons. So So instead of forging armor, we can primarily forge weapons, and then we can raise this up. But the best one in my opinion is the luck boost. Currently this goes all the way up to a plus 40% luck boost, and to get it we have to play for 100 hours. So it starts off with like 5 hours, 10, maybe 20, 50, and then all the way to 100. But it's definitely worth it because a permanent plus 40% luck boost is crazy good. Once again, you can only equip one, so depending on what you're doing, equip it, and then whenever you're mining, equip a different one, and then so on. And another tip is to buy the boost potions over here. They may seem kind of pricey, but they're actually not, especially the luck potions. Whenever you're planning on mining for a long time, I recommend buying a bunch of luck potions and miner potions, because what these luck potions do is they increase our luck by a whole 20%. Actually, let's check it out. I forgot if it's 20 or 25. And you have 20%, and then the miner potion right here gives us 15% faster mining speed and 10% extra mining damage. So I recommend buying both of these and combining them together whenever you plan to mine for a long time, because a plus 20% luck boost is actually quite a bit. And for the next tip, I bet many of y'all already know this, but make sure to enhance your weapons, because if you go over to this guy, we can enhance our weapons and armor, and the more you enhance your weapons, the more rune slots you get. So that's actually how we got rune slots on all of these. So if you select this one for example, it currently only has one rune slot because it's not too leveled up, but if I enhance it even more, and Ope actually went down a level, but let me go ahead and do this, and hopefully we can get it to go up. And there we go. Now if we enhance it this time, and if it's successful, it'll give us an extra rune slot. So hopefully we manage to get it, and then boom. So there we go. We now have 2 rune slots, and I don't know what the max is. The max is either 2 or 3, I believe. It does cost a little bit of money, but for the extra rune slot, it's definitely worth it. So then you can put runes on all of your armors, especially your weapons as well, and make them even more powerful. We sadly aren't able to do this with our pickaxes though, but it's especially good for your weapons because on top of the extra rune slots, it actually increases the base stats as well. Such as our sword right here, the base damage was 172, but after enhancing it, it went up 50 damage, so now it does 223. And if we keep enhancing it farther and farther, it will do more and more damage. Anyway, for my next tip, which I bet most of the endgame players already know this, but if you're a beginning game player, you can actually mine multiple rocks at the same time. So if 2 rocks are close enough together, such as these ones right here, which let me actually kill this Reaper real quick. But if 2 rocks are close enough together, we can actually put our cursor right in the middle, and we kind of have to move it a little bit, but we can actually mine both of them at the same time. So this can make mining a lot faster, especially for places like this right here, where we need to mine multiple high HP rocks at the same time. So instead of mining both of them individually, we can mine both of them, and we can save a bunch of time, and we can do this for many other rocks. Some rocks are even close enough together that you can mine up to 3 all at the same time, speeding it up even farther. And sometimes they may seem too far apart just like this, but you just have to position your cursor in like the just right spot, and then you can mine both of them at the same time. This doesn't work all the time. Sometimes they are actually too far apart, but most of the time you just need to position your cursor. And for the final tip, I'm going to show y'all how to get a bunch of miner runes while being AFK. So what many people do whenever they go AFK, they go AFK right here so they can mine both of these rocks at the same time, because I believe this is the one spot in the game where these rocks spawn here every time, and there's no enemies around you to kill you, so you can just go AFK here overnight. But everyone does that, and also your inventory is just gonna fill up with all the ores. So what I always do is whenever I go AFK killing people, so then whenever I wake up, I have a bunch of miner runes in my inventory, and that's how I get miner runes such as this one right here that give me plus 16% luck. And what I do is I just find a spot with a bunch of skeletons. So over here, I just run back, and I run all the way back here, and personally, I just stand in the middle because skeletons usually spawn all around me, and I just pull out my sword, and I turn on an auto clicker to click once every second, and I just go AFK swinging my sword. So any skeletons that will run up to me, they'll eventually just die, and then they'll respawn in a circle around me, they'll run up, and they'll run directly into my blade and just die as well. This is mainly for endgame players who have good armor though, good armor, good weapons, and also heal pretty fast, and then we can get a bunch of miner runes. It may actually be a bit more difficult to do just as they added this skeleton right here, which he just shoots at you and he'll never come up to you, so that method may not work as good anymore. And my armor also has this ability right here, which burns enemies that attack me, So even whenever enemies do come up and attack me and they're behind me, they'll just eventually die because my armor has the burn effect. And also these skeletons don't do nearly as much damage to kill me. Anyway, here's a bomber skeleton, so let me actually back up and kill him real quick. And oh boy, he actually just blew up. And speaking of luck, I actually just got a 13% luck rune from that guy. So this method isn't that good anymore, mainly just from the spell guy, because he'll just keep shooting at us and he does do quite a bit of damage, but you can probably find a spot for it to work out. Anyway, if you have any tips, please make sure to let me know in the comment section below, because I'm curious to know what tips y'all have. But anyway, that's gonna be all for this video though. If this video helped you out, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next video.